Shalom, President Trump. This is Michael, the black man, the founder of Blacks for Trump. On behalf of a million or over a million black Yahwehs, we are asking you to please pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh. And me and Yahweh ben Yahweh's little sister, Leona Mitchell, the greatest opera singer in the world, wants to come and meet with you to ask for that pardon and to give you the proof as to why he should be pardoned. Yahweh ben Yahweh's little sister is Grammy Award winning greatest opera soprano singer in the world, Leona Mitchell, who duet sings with Luciano Pavarotti, the greatest male opera singer in the world.
Pavarotti, of course, as Leona Mitchell.
Here you see Yahweh ben Yahweh after his sister Leona Mitchell just finished singing in a big time opera, and that's me standing behind him. Right here, you can Google that Yahweh ben Yahweh is the big brother to his little sister Leona Mitchell. How y'all doing? I'm Michael, Blacks for Trump. I'm here with Leona Mitchell, one of the greatest soprano opera singers in the world, which is the little sister to Yahweh ben Yahweh, who I call the Son of God, and his son, Maccabees, Israel. I'm here to let you know that we want Yahweh ben Yahweh to be pardoned by President Trump.
Yes, we do. I want my brother to be pardoned.
I would like my brother to be pardoned. There's Leona Mitchell, Maccabees, and Michael, Blacks for Trump. She's won Grammys, she's won Oscars. She sings Madam Butterfly, and queens and kings of all type of countries. 4 different presidents. She's been appointed by presidents for different situations in the White House. She is the prima donna. Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yes, this is Blacks for Trump, Michael the Black Man. I got Yahweh ben Yahweh's son, his daughters, and his brother. And we're asking President Trump to pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Yahweh ben Yahweh.
That's what we want, sir. He's a good man and an honorable man. Even the judge in his case says this is a good man. The judge also said Yahweh ben Yahweh's works was so grand because even though they said he was a man that hated white people, he could not understand how he could hate white people. And when the Ashkenazi Jews' temple were being defaced with swastikas, Yahweh ben Yahweh told all of the Yahwehs across the country and the other temples that he had to go and guard the Ashkenazi Jew temples. And the next day, all of the swastikas and everything stopped because we guarded the temple just like we guarded the food stamp office across the street from our temple. And the older white ladies used to thank us because when black guys used to snatch their purse and run, we would run them down, get the lady's purse back, and then call the police, hold the guy, and put him in jail. We were always helpful to our white brothers and sisters because Yahweh said these are the people that are our brothers and who have forgotten that they are our brothers, but they will be our brothers forevermore. There is no difference between the Jew and the Gentile, the black man and the white man. So all of the Jewish priests would come and thank Yahweh ben Yahweh for us assisting them and stopping them from putting swastikas on the Jewish temple. That is the greatness of Yahweh ben Yahweh. He's a good man and an honorable man. Even the judge in his case says this is a good man and was sorry that he had to be stuck with Biden's law that made it where he had to do a minimum mandatory, so he gave him the least amount of time because he was found guilty of conspiracy. But even the judge said there were no acts that took place, so what did he conspire to do? The judge asked that question on the stand. So we want Yahweh ben Yahweh pardoned because he did a lot of good works. He brought black and white people together. It was because of him that I fell in love with my white Republican brethren, because he told me that was my real brother. And he told me that Trump, which is you, sir, is King Cyrus of the Bible that was going to deliver the black man out of hell. He told me this in 1984. Now, I want to get something straight. We are not affiliated with those guys who call themselves the Hebrew Israelites. We are all Hebrew. Even the white man is a Hebrew because Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Japheth is the father of all white European Gentiles. But Noah was a Hebrew, so Japheth, the white man, is a Hebrew. He can call himself Cuban, Spanish, Puerto Rican. He can call himself Scandinavian, British. But his daddy was Noah, so he's a Hebrew, and I'm a Hebrew. All of us are Hebrew. So, but the bottom line is we're not connected to those guys who call themselves the Hebrew Israelites, who walk around saying that the white man is the devil and that they have tails and all this ignorant stuff. I don't agree with that. Yahweh did not agree with that, which is why he left the nation of Islam, because he did not believe that all white people were the devil. In fact, he was light-skinned with blue eyes himself, lighter than most white people. So Yahweh taught me that the white man is not the devil. White Gentiles are our blood brothers. So I want to make that clear. We are not those Hebrew Israelites. We are the Yahwehs. So on behalf of over 1 million Yahwehs, we want Yahweh ben Yahweh to be pardoned by you, sir. And it is also a fact that we were political prisoners because we supported the Republican Party. Like they tried to do you, President Trump, because you were conservative and for the Republican Party. And guess what? The same people that prosecuted you or tried to prosecute you are the same people that prosecuted us. Like William Sessions, Jeff Sessions' family, he was over the FBI. And his assistant was Mueller. And the person that worked with him was Comey. And these are the same bastards that came into our courtroom every day to make sure that we were convicted. But to their shock, we were found innocent. And we had no acts or racketeering acts, so they had to rush to state court to try to get some acts on Yahweh ben Yahweh or find him guilty of some of the murders or some of the fires and all of the other crazy stuff that they lied on us about to try to make him guilty over there. But when they went to state court, damn, they lost big time. The jury came back with not guilty. They had all of the same evidence that was in the federal court. And they said none of those acts took place, and found out that Robert Rozier was lying. And even my little brother said that he made it up because the FBI forced him to do it. So, sir, we were innocent. You are innocent. And we want you to pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh so that we can be free. I'm proud that you pardoned Manafort and Roger Stone and all of the good brothers that fought for the Republicans. So now I'm the black guy, the helpless guy that fought for the Republicans, and we want our teacher pardoned. And we got his little sister, the greatest opera singer in the world, soprano. And I got her on camera, you're going to see that in a second, where she's asking for him to be pardoned too, along with his family members. Thank you, sir. Cousins of the FBI who was working under Comey and Mueller and Sessions, not Jeff Sessions, one of his family members. Sessions, who was the head of the FBI at the time, with Hillary Clinton coming into the courtroom several times, along with head prosecutor Janet Reno. They come into the courtroom several times to make sure we were destroyed, because Janet Reno and Lawton Childs and the government were afraid that because Yahweh ben Yahweh helped Xavier Suarez, Victor DeUry, and all of those black and white Republicans get into office, he had a temple in almost every major city in Florida, which meant he could have overthrown Lawton Childs and helped the Republicans overthrow the Democrats in the presidency. So they decided to destroy him. That's why they did that to Yahweh ben Yahweh. And that's why they fear me, because they know I'm Yahweh ben Yahweh's protege, and I'm going to make sure that President Trump wins. 2020, 2024, and 2028. Damn the Democrats. Cousins and Scruggs and No Vicky were embarrassed unto death. They got conviction on conspiracy without a racketeering act, which means he conspired to kill somebody, but nobody was ever killed. There was never any conversation because I was found innocent of all of that, and so therefore there was no acts that took place. So what did we conspire to do? There was no acts with the conspiracy. That's what that means when it says he's found guilty of conspiracy but not guilty of the racketeering or any of the acts or any of the murders. But they found him guilty of blanket conspiracy to nothing. Like they tried to get President Trump found guilty of conspiracy, but there was no crime, no acts. Boy, these people are crazy. What kind of crap is that? It's called confusion. They confused the jury and the jury found him guilty. But if they took Yahweh to state court because they were so destroyed and embarrassed because they got him found guilty on conspiracy, but none of the acts. So they took the brothers to state court immediately, didn't release them, took them to state court to find them guilty of the murders, went through a whole trial with Jane Weintraub, a hero of ours, and guess what happened? They were found innocent in less than 2 hours, did 2 weeks of a trial, and all of the brothers who went there for these murders were all found innocent.
That they were recharged using the same identical criminal acts, using the same prosecutor, Trudy Novicki, using the same government's witnesses, and using the same evidence. The difference? No RICO, no confusion, just the facts. The result? Not guilty. The state of Florida versus Yahweh being Yahweh. We, the jury at Miami-Dade County, Florida, the 17th day of December, 1992, find the defendant, Yahweh ben Yahweh, not guilty of the offense as to first degree.
And I think the result in the state court was a absolutely perfect example of it. They had a 2-week trial, and the jury was out for 2 hours. They probably picked a foreman, had lunch, and then went out and threw the case out of the courthouse.
Yet Yahweh still went to jail for conspiracy in the federal case. That's why he's supposed to do what? Be pardoned, because that was wicked. They're doing the same thing with President Donald J. Trump right now, who is the great King Cyrus. And he's going to deliver us out of the hands of you bastards, and the rest of the Yahweh brothers are going to go help the President Trump run for president, and we're going to slaughter him. My name is Michael the Black Man. Let it also be noted that Yahweh ben Yahweh was a military hero in the Air Force. He was a star. He wrote a lot of the protocols that the military used and the police use until this day. I was told that by a general who was a 5-star general who we met with Yahweh ben Yahweh in New York while walking down the street going into a restaurant, and the general with a few other soldiers walked up and said, "Hulan Mitchell, how you doing, son?" And then he said all of that right in front of me, that Yahweh ben Yahweh was a military hero and wrote a lot of the protocols for the military. And I was astonished. And he left the military with honors as a hero. So President Trump considered that this is one of our military stars, like General Great Flynn. Wicked people will lie like they have done to our president, President Trump. They will make your brother and your family members turn against you like they did me. I'm Michael the Black Man. They did my brother like they're doing Corey Lewandowski, like they're trying to do every one of Trump's supporters who are really with him. So we now know, and white people, you now have to understand that black and white people are in the same position. It's just that we have a different kind of white person that's tormenting us. They're called Democrats and Canaanites. They're different from white Republicans who are the Europeans. So now, I'm going to show you how they bring up a story and they put it in the newspaper. They even put it on appeal and forget to mention the most important thing. Like they said, my brother and Robert Rozier are 98% of the whole case against Yahweh ben Yahweh. The other 2% of the people who testified, other than one kid that was 8 years old when he was in the temple talking about what he said he saw and lied about it so he can get out of a drug case he was in, the other people testified only about little silly stuff like, oh, he only made us eat beans, rice, cornbread, and fish and chicken. Which, what the hell is that about? That's how, well, that would have been good testimony back in 1980 when everybody thought you had to have some kind of a meat. Now they talking about 1990 about fish and chicken. That sounds like a damn good meal to regular people. But anyway, everybody else who testified against Yahweh ben Yahweh, all of them had really nothing bad to say other than he had made us eat that kind of food and we worked. Because Comey, Mueller, William Sessions, which is Jeff Sessions' family member, they forced my little brother, Zerubbabel, to lie, to try to destroy me, to force me into lying on Yahweh ben Yahweh. This is what they did to Trump, and this is what they did to Yahweh ben Yahweh, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, every great black leader we've ever had, and every great white Republican we've ever had, up until Trump today. 98%. But guess what? In my brother's case, he was supposed to be testifying against me. And they say that all in the newspapers, but they leave out the fact that when my lawyer asked him, was any of your testimony true against Yahweh ben Yahweh and Maurice Simonette and the brothers? He said no. I told the FBI I was going to tell the truth if they asked me, and they understood that was the only way I was going to do it, and he went right against them. Now I'm going to show you the proof of that because I have my little brother here. They call him a snitch and all that, but he never did. He did sort of snitch, and then he recanted it right in court in front of everybody in the world. But do you think the media, fake news mentioned it? No. And then you got Robert Rozier, same thing. He got caught in the lie, then admitted he was lying. Do you think they push that up? No, they just leave it out there like my brother turned on me and lied on me. Now check out this truth. Yahweh ben Yahweh is innocent and you get ready to see it. So I want him pardoned. And it's easy because we gonna use the Hebrews who are the Yahweh, not those Hebrews who are out there talking against white people. I don't believe in them. I'm not with them. I'm talking about the Yahweh Hebrews. We're gonna have, there's 1 million of us out there, and they're gonna advocate for our President Trump. Y'all ready? Now check out the facts of the case. You're gonna see my little brother, Ricardo. Now remember, he's supposed to be the best witness against us. And he went and said if none of it was true, like Robert Rozier was caught in the lie. Now you're getting ready to hear my little brother saying with his own mouth that it was all a lie. So that means Yahweh ben Yahweh didn't do anything. Boy, so we need to please pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh, sir. Even though they say he's dead, bring us our dignity back like you did for such other great brothers. Thank you, sir. Facts of the case. You're going to see my little brother, Ricardo, say, no, it's a lie. Everything they said was a lie. The black man, that's my brother Zerubbabel, David, and there's Joaquin, my brother who plays the bass guitar, lead guitar with us. I'm out here to testify to you that all of them who are calling my little brother here a snitch is a lie. I'm going to tell you what happened so you'll know. The FBI arrested him, made him lie on me and Yahweh ben Yahweh, and then when the testimony was over, when his testimony was over, my lawyer asked one question. The question was, is any of that you just said about Maurice and Yahweh ben Yahweh, is that true? And he said, no, it's all a lie. And I told the FBI that I was going to tell that truth if they asked. And I don't want nobody to think that my brother was a snitch, because what he did was he got us out. And all the other brothers who were stuck in there after Robert Rozier got destroyed for lying, their last hope was this brother right here. And he got all of us out by crushing the FBI. Is that true?
That's true. That's how it went down.
Yeah. They asked
me, was it true? And I said, I recant that whole statement.
Yeah. And that crushed him. The whole courtroom went berserk.
They shut the courtroom down.
Shut the courtroom down. So he did not snitch on us. That's how I got out of jail. Yakim was at the courthouse for you those days, right?
Amen.
And he remembered that, the whole thing. So, and this is one of the original Yahweh brothers that was with us when we first built the temple. So all of y'all out there who playing the game, stop it! This is Michael the Black Man. My name is Maurice Simonet, Michael the Black Man, Blacks for Trump. Now here's the deal. This is about Yahweh ben Yahweh and us getting him a pardon. Everybody now finds out that the FBI under wicked people will lie like they have done to our president, President Trump. They will make your brother and your family members turn against you. Michael. That's my brother Zerubbabel, David, and there's Yakim, my brother who plays the bass guitar, lead guitar with us. I'm out here to testify to you that all of them who are calling my little brother here a snitch is a lie. I'm gonna tell you what happened so you'll know. The FBI arrested him, made him the Yahweh ben Yahweh lie on me and Yahweh ben Yahweh, and then when the testimony was over, when his testimony was over, my lawyer asked one question. The question was, is any of that you just said about Maurice and Yahweh ben Yahweh, is that true? And he said, no, it's all a lie. And I told the FBI that I was going to tell that truth if they asked. And I don't want nobody to think that my brother was a snitch, because what he did was he got us out. And all the other brothers who were stuck in there after Robert Rozier got destroyed for lying, their last hope was this brother right here. And he got all of us out by crushing the FBI. Is that true?
That's true. That's how it went down.
Yeah. They asked
me, was it true? And I said, I recant that whole statement.
Yeah. And that crushed him. The whole courtroom went berserk.
They shut the courtroom down.
Shut the courtroom down. So he did not snitch on us. That's how I got out of jail. Yakim was at the courthouse for you those days, right?
Amen.
And he remembered that, the whole thing. So, and this is one of the original Yahweh brothers that was with us when we first built the temple. So all of y'all out there who playing the game, stop it! This is Michael the Black Man. Get my brother like they're doing Corey Lewandowski, like they're trying to do every one of Trump's supporters who are really with him. So we now know, and white people, you now have to understand that black and white people are in the same position. It's just that we have a different kind of white person that's tormenting us. They're called Democrats and Canaanites. They're different from white Republicans who are the Europeans. So now, I'm going to show you how they bring up a story and they put it in the newspaper. They even put it on appeal and forget to mention the most important thing. Like they said, my brother and Robert Rozier are 98% of the whole case against Yahweh ben Yahweh. 98%. Robert Rozier and my little brother Ricardo Woodside are the only two people that said they saw any murders, and that's all they used for the racketeering acts, and the whole conspiracy case is based on those two brothers, both of which admitted that they were lying. So that's the end of the whole case. Damn! But guess what? In my brother's case, he was supposed to be testifying against me. And they say that all in the newspapers, but they leave out the fact that when my lawyer asked him, was any of your testimony true against Yahweh ben Yahweh and Maurice Simonet and the brothers? He said no. I told the FBI I was going to tell the truth if they asked me, and they understood that was the only way I was going to do it, and he went right against them. Now I'm going to show you the proof of that because I have my little brother here. They call him a snitch and all that, but he never did. He did sort of snitch, and then he recanted it right in court in front of everybody in the world. But do you think the media, fake news mentioned it? No. And then you got Robert Rozier, same thing. He got caught in the lie, then admitted he was lying. Do you think they pushed that up? No, they just leave it out there like my brother turned on me and lied on me. Now check out this truth. Yahweh ben Yahweh is innocent, and you get ready to see it. So I want him pardoned. And it's easy because we're going to use the Hebrews who are the Yahwehs, not those Hebrews who are out there talking against white people. I don't believe in them. I'm not with them. I'm talking about the Yahweh Hebrews. We're going to have, there's 1 million of us out there, and they're going to advocate for our President Trump. Y'all ready? Now check out the facts of the case. You're going to see my little brother, Ricardo, say, no, it's a lie. Everything they said was a lie. Now let's talk about Robert Rozier, the only other guy to testify against Yahweh ben Yahweh about actually doing murders, and which was the racketeering and the acts that they said we did while conspiring with me and Yahweh ben Yahweh. Now, it was said to me that I was the one that was supposed to be the guy that gave the orders from Yahweh ben Yahweh, because he never talked to anybody. He only talked to me. And I was supposed to be the colonel that went and told everybody as the guy second in command. And Yahweh ben Yahweh said, go tell this guy to kill that guy. Go tell that guy to kill that guy. Now that's what Robert Rozier said my position was. And that's how the FBI questioned me. And Yahweh ben Yahweh was supposed to be the guy that talked to me, who never talked to anybody else. Now, Rozier also went on to say that I actually did an act, that I hit somebody in the eye with a stick, and this guy supposedly died. And then Alcee Hastings, who at the time was Yahweh ben Yahweh's lawyer, and he was, judge before that and all of that. Now he's in the Congress. This guy asked Robert Rozier a simple question. He said, Mr. Rozier, you said you saw Yahweh ben Yahweh and Michael in a room with a bunch of people, and Yahweh ben Yahweh watched Michael hit a guy in the eye with a stick. Do you remember what day that was? You know this is 1991 and 92 right now, so what year was that you said that happened? And Rozier said it was 1983. September 17th, 1983. Yeah? And my brother said, well, why are you so sure that it was September 17th, 1983? And he had the perfect answer. It's because it was the Day of Atonement, and we had to kill a goat, sacrifice it to God Yahweh. So we used him as a sacrifice. Now he's accusing us of what Epstein is guilty of. But other than that, he accused us of this. And then he said that I hit him in the eye. He said, so you sure it was September 17th, 1983? He said, yes, sir. Then after about 20 minutes of that, Alcee Hastings said, well, I have this piece of paper in my hand, son, that says between September 17th, 1983, when you said all these brothers were doing all these murders and all of that stuff and getting all these orders from Michael, from Yahweh ben Yahweh, Michael is Maurice Simonet. So you said you for sure know it was September 17th, 1983, when I have this piece of paper here that says you in jail in Jacksonville at the P Farm, son, between January 3rd of 1983 and February 4th of 1984. How do you explain that, son? So Rozier said, can I see that paper? Yeah, why show, boy? So he brought him the paper, he looked at it, and he looked up and said, well, I told the FBI I was lying about this anyway. I made up all that stuff about all these murders and all them brothers doing that because I was trying to get a good deal. I lied on Maurice to get a good deal. Wow. The crowd went crazy. The jury went up berserk. Judge Rucker stood and said, I want Maurice to get up and walk out of here right now. And I said, I'm not leaving without this man here. And I mean, it was the Ruckers in there. And that was the destruction of Robert Rozier. And that destroyed their whole case because we were charged with conspiracy and racketeering and some firebombing. And he just admitted all of that was a lie. He said it was a lie and that he made it up, which means that the brothers who were accused of all of those crimes were not guilty because he said he lied on me. Therefore, I didn't give no orders to those brothers. Forget the fact that we had all the proof that the brothers didn't do it. The fact is, he said he made it up to get a good deal, and that guy, like Comey and Mueller, knew that those people were lying on Trump. Here they are known. These FBI agents, Cousins, and that other sucker named Scruggs and Novicki, they all knew it was a lie designed to destroy Yahweh Ben Yahweh because he said vote for the Republicans. Just like they wanted to kill Trump just because he became a Republican and won the election. These bastards are off the racks. Robert Rozier and his antics. He is such an evil person, and he lied on us and had me in jail for 18 months waiting to go to trial. That is why I was found innocent. What was sad is Yahweh was found guilty of conspiracy to do these racketeering, which is why Judge Rucker said, how in the world can Yahweh be guilty of conspiracy when there were no acts? There was no racketeering. There was no firebombings. And what did he conspire to do? And if Maurice is innocent, how can Yahweh Ben Yahweh be guilty when he only talked to Maurice? So they said. And he said this case stinks into high heaven. That's why the judge used to come by my house for my parties and everything. He always apologized to me and the other brothers for what we had gone through. Just like they should be apologizing to Yahweh Ben Yahweh. This is what they do to every black leader that leads black people to the Republicans. And this is what they do to every Republican president and congressman and senator in America. Right now, under the guise of Valkyrie and the FBI and all these people that are being used by the Democrat Confederate rebels to put us away in jail for no reason, because we as black men and as white European Gentiles don't have rights. We are different from the East Indians, Arabs, and Pakistanians, and we are different from the Canaanites who were cursed white. So that's why Trump is treated like that. He doesn't have a right. He goes to jail if they can get him for lying about Russia. But Hillary can lie and she's free. They don't even accuse her or ask her about it. Biden broke every law in the world with his son and did all that collusion, yet he's free, but they want to put Trump in jail for some stuff they came up with or made up. Everything is a lie. And Robert Rozier was destroyed, and that's why I walked free. If they had any kind of proof at all that I had did anything, I would have been under the jailhouse. But the jury came back and said, we find Maurice innocent. The judge said, don't you mean not guilty? They said, no, sir. We find him innocent. I was the first man they ever heard of to be found innocent by the jury. And that's because Rozier lied, and my little brother Ricardo actually said he recanted all that and made it all up because they forced him to lie on me and Yahweh Ben Yahweh so that he can get out of jail. The same way they did trying to do Corey Lewandowski, the same way they did Trump's lawyer, the same way they did all of the people that's testifying against Trump and the other great guys that stood up for Trump. Those guys are all being treated evil by these damn Democrat Confederate rebel bastards from hell. I'm blacks for Trump. For life. Trump 2040. Damn 2020. We gonna win 2020, 2028, 2040. We going all the way. Trump for life. Praise y'all. To all my Hebrew brothers and sisters out there, I'm going to put out this petition. We're going to ask for Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, to be pardoned by the president. He pardoned several people. So now we're going to ask him to pardon Yahweh Ben Yahweh, since he was not found guilty of any racketeering or any of the acts. And here's the facts. Yahweh Ben Yahweh was found innocent of the racketeering and all of the acts. So if he didn't do any of the acts or the racketeering, then what is the conspiracy? They only found him guilty of conspiracy. Now let's analyze this. Yahweh Yahweh was found guilty of conspiracy, of which he was never even really charged with. He was charged with conspiracy to do racketeering. Now they want to give him a charge of just conspiracy. But the problem with that is that the newspapers say he was found guilty of conspiracy racketeering. He wasn't found guilty of conspiracy racketeering. He was found guilty of conspiracy. But the problem is, the conspiracy was supposed to be that he told Maurice, Mikael, me, to go and tell the brother to kill this person or tell that brother to kill that person. I was found innocent, which means there was no conspiracy. So the Judge Rutger asked, well, if he didn't have Maurice to conspire with, then who did he conspire with? And the next question is, if all of the brothers was found innocent of all of the racketeering acts, then what did he conspire to racketeer, and what did he conspire to act on? The racketeering acts that you can be found guilty of in this case was, the racketeering acts was murder. But none of the brothers was found guilty of any of the murders or the acts. So he was not guilty of conspiracy without the act, but they found him guilty anyway. And then the newspapers tried to say, oh, he was found guilty of conspiracy racketeering. No, he was found guilty of only conspiracy without the racketeering. Because by definition, the murder is the racketeering that they said he conspired to do. He didn't do any acts. So Yahweh Yahweh is innocent, but they only destroyed him because he was for the Republicans. Now I'm going to go on and show you how all the rest of the brothers were done. Here I am. Now there are 15 brothers in this indictment, one sister, so 16 people altogether. We were all charged with racketeering, conspiracy to kill people, and extortion. Extortion was dropped by Judge Rutger. Now, 15 brothers, none of us were found guilty of any racketeering act. So all of the murders were a lie perpetrated by Robert Rozier and as spoken by my little brother Ricardo Woodside. Now, you're going to go through each brother one at a time. You will see not one brother did any killings at all other than Robert Rozier, the bastard from hell. Watch. Maurice Simonet. He said, I was found innocent and I was only charged with conspiracy because my conspiracy was supposed to be I followed orders from Yahweh Ben Yahweh to order the brothers to kill brothers. Well, I was found innocent of that. Because my charge is that Rozier said that I actually hit a guy in the eye with a stick, which would be a part of the racketeering of murder, and my little brother saying that, hey, I lied about that. I told the FBI I would tell the truth if they asked, and he got right on the stand, and my lawyer asked him, he said, everything I said about Maurice was a lie about him helping me to kill Aston Green. Why would we kill Aston Green anyway? To be honest with you, because that was a very good friend of mine. I loved that brother. I was sad to find out he died. And then the judge actually dismissed those two charges during the trial. And the thing that they said I was getting money from drug dealers and pimps and prostitutes and all that stuff, as a big time money collector. The judge dropped that because he said that you would have to put all of the preachers in jail in America. So, because we had an actual 501c3, we were an actual church, a temple, and so therefore the judge dropped those charges. So all that Robert Rozier and Ricardo said about me ended up being dismissed. The only thing I had left was the conspiracy, which was the conspiracy of me being told by Yahweh ben Yahweh to go tell that brother to do this and that brother to do that, and that Yahweh ben Yahweh didn't talk to nobody but me. I was supposed to be the big colonel. Well, I was found innocent of that because I didn't do that, and Rozier said he lied about that. Therefore, I was found innocent. And by the way, I was the first guy they ever heard of. When the jury looked at me, they said, "What is your verdict?" He said, "We find Maurice innocent." And the judge said, "Don't you mean not guilty?" He said, "No, we find Maurice innocent." So therefore, I'm absolutely free from these lies. Now, Walter Lightburn, good brother of mine, this brother here, Rozier, said he lied about the karate expert and what happened to the karate expert. And how he got caught in that lie was incredible, because Alcee Hasten asked him, "Are you sure it was 1983 that you saw Walter Lightburn fight with this karate guy and Maurice hit him in the eye with a stick?" He said, yes, it was 1983. He brought the proof that that Negro, Robert Rozier, was in jails from January of 1983, January 3rd of 1983 to February 4th of 1984 in Jacksonville at the P Farm. And then he read the paper and said, "Well, I told the FBI I was lying about that anyway. I made up all that stuff and all these stories about these brothers so that I can get me a good deal. Damn all that." And even that nut, Richard Scruggs, admits that he knew this guy was a con man and that he was lying to them and that he had tricked them, and yet he still used this punk to try to crush us and wipe out the nation of Yahweh and the unity between the black man and the white man. This Negro did that. He didn't like the Republicans. He was against us, and that's what he did. And then you have how he lied. Guess how he got caught in the lie. Now, y'all check this out. The man lied so good that after he was caught in that big lie, he comes back and says, "Well, I told him I made the story up." Now, my lawyer tried to choke him to death in the courtroom. The judge had to stop him. And so the judge wanted me to get up and walk out right then. Now, we had other witnesses. We had another witness come in that was supposed to be Leonard Dupree's brother, the guy that we were supposed to have beat up according to Robert Rozier and his lies. So he brings in the brother of the guy who was supposed to testify for the prosecutor that his brother had been missing. Right? Now check this out. The brother comes in and he said, "Yeah, my brother is missing." Now he said, "Well, when was the," and Alcee asked him, "When was the last time you saw your brother?" He said, "Well, the last time I saw my brother was November 4th of 1984. I mean 1983. He said, "You saw your brother in November 4th, 1983? He said, "Yes, sir." And the prosecution went crazy, and the judge said, "You can't object to this. This is your witness." He said, "Well, why do you know it was November 4th that you saw your brother?" He said, "Well, because I got out of the army, the military in November 4th. So everybody remembers when they got out of the military." And he said he saw his brother and he talked to him and everything. He said, "Did your brother appear beat up or look crazy?" He said, "No, sir." "Was one of his eyes missing?" "No, sir." Rozier said, "We beat him up September 17th, 1983. But you saw your brother November 4th, 1984. Damn, that Negro can lie. So the man's brother saw him after he was supposed to be dead. Now here's the next problem they had with that case. A lady from an insane asylum in Texas came and testified that Leonard Dupree was in an insane asylum in Texas right now. Damn. Negro wasn't even dead. She said, well, they said, well, does he have any symptoms of ever being beat up or one of his eyes missing? No, none of that's his problem. He just, I guess they just realized that he was out of his mind. But I didn't even know no Leonard Dupree. I never met him. But Rozier said we did that. That's another lie he got caught on. And this dude came up with all kind of lies, and everything crashed in on him because he didn't know that our lawyers were going to go study it. And then we have our brother James Lewis Mack. Rozier said, Yahweh told me to go tell him and Rozier to go kill somebody. Now Rozier just admit that he lied about that. Dexter, another good brother, Dexter Grant, Rozier said the same thing about him as he said about James Lewis Mack. He admitted that he lied right in the testimony against me. Anthony Murphy. Now look at this brother here, little brother here, young brother. This brother here, they said, killed a man and cut his ear off and all this other crazy stuff. And they held back the evidence because they had evidence that he had snatched his hair out of his head of Anthony Murphy. So they had a handful of Anthony Murphy's hair during the fight of this so-called knifing murder. When the judge forced them to finally bring the hair in, Anthony Murphy stood up. They took Anthony Murphy's his head wrap off his head, and the brother's hair is so nappy it's unbelievable. He's a real black man. I mean, his arms got nappy hair. Black as hell. Black hair. Well, when we looked at the plastic bag full of the hair of the man that so-called died, lo and behold, it was blonde people's hair. Everybody, the whole place went completely berserk. But do we know all about this here? No. I tell you right now, Anthony Murphy is walking around like he murdered somebody. We got that Rozier in another damn nasty lie. Talking about, and plus he already was exonerated because he said he was lying about that anyway. And then we had Ernest Lee James and Carl Perry. Well, Ernest Lee James, I was supposed to have ordered them to go do something. And so they said on a certain date that Ernest Lee James went out with Robert Rozier and killed the guy. Okay, now watch this. Ernest Lee James was driving a bus. Now the murder took place in Miami. And we find out that Ernest Lee James was driving a bus in New York picking up people for the feast. Everybody said, well, how do you know that? Well, the way we know it is because he got a traffic ticket from a police officer. The police officer came to court and testified that on the same day of the so-called murder, they looked at it and noticed the dates are the exact same. He was in New York driving a bus, and the way he remembered him is because the bus was white. It had Yahweh in black letters on the side, and in the bus was about 60 people dressed in white robes, and so was Anthony Murphy with a white robe and a head wrap. Nobody, no police officer would ever forget a situation like that. That's what got Anthony Murphy out of it. Now, Ernest Lee James out of it. He was driving a bus, and the police testified that that's what the truth was. Carl Perry, come to find out, Carl Perry fainted after watching his baby be born on the same day of the murder around the same time. The jury did not believe Robert Rozier's black man, plus he had already said he made all that up to get a good deal. So that's how Carl Perry got out. James Littlejohn and Antmore Canton, Rozier didn't even point them out. He didn't recognize them, didn't know them, and didn't see them according to his lying black behind. So they didn't even get mentioned. That's why they was found innocent. Brian Lewis wasn't even charged with the murder. He was charged with being a conspirer, that he was just hanging around. The real reason they got him, because he, like me, had very clean records, never smoked, drank, or took drugs in our lives, and he was a genius in college. I was supposed to be a some kind of smart guy, a singer, all this stuff. So they told me, I don't know exactly what they told him, but they told me that the reason they needed me to testify against Yahweh because I never smoked, drank, or took drugs in my life, and they needed a clean guy that had no record to testify against Yahweh because Yahweh himself had never smoked, drank, or took drugs in his life, and he was a military hero in the Air Force and a tactical teacher and a trainer, one of their best kept secrets. And I know that's the truth because a general was walking down the street one day with some other generals and colonels and met Yahweh, and Yahweh saw him with me walking with him, and Yahweh said, "Hey son, that's the 5-star general I used to work with." I said, "Wow." And the general said, "Hey, Hulan Mitchell, how you doing, son?" And he saluted Yahweh, and Yahweh saluted him back. And he said, "Well, son," he said, "do you know who this man is?" I said, "Yes, sir, that's Yahweh." He said, "Son, let me tell you, this man is the military's best kept secret. He's a tactical trainer. He's a hero." "Did he tell you he was a hero for the military, son?" I said, "No, sir. He's so secret, they put down in the paper that he did a stint in the Air Force. They can't even let you know what he did. He was so top secret. He wrote most of the protocols for the military. Yet, they wanted to use Robert Rozier, a criminal who murdered 5 people before he met Yahweh, to testify against this clean man who had cleaned up the neighborhoods, cleaned up everything, worked with the poor, and had grocery stores and restaurants, showed us how to run businesses, had colleges and everything. They wanted to put this man in jail using that dude, Robert Rozier, who the prosecutor admitted was a con man and a liar before he took him to trial. And he knew it. That's why he got disbarred for being a liar. Oh, prosecutor Scruggs, what a bastard lying dog he was. So the brother Brian Lewis got off because Rozier also said that none of the brothers, I lied on the brothers and all that, so that included him, and he wasn't even charged with a murder. Now Rufus Pace and Robert Beasley was charged with the racketeering of killing a person with Robert Rozier, but they were found innocent of the murders, but guilty of the conspiracy. Conspiracy to do what? Nothing. Those brothers who were charged with a conspiracy, including Sister Judas, went to jail with Yahweh with no acts, no racketeering acts. This is how wicked they are. John Foster and Richard, these brothers were charged with killing Aston Green. My little brother already destroyed that. He said he made all of that up, and he told the FBI that he was going to tell that. Cousins and Scruggs knew it. Cousins, you are an absolute sellout to the black man. You are the beast. You're hellbound, brother. You ain't not my brother. I don't even want to call you that, boy. But anyway, damn Rozier. Let me tell you what they were confused about. They found him guilty of conspiracy because Robert Rozier was a member of the church or the temple. Robert Rozier said Yahweh sent him to do some murders. And when the FBI was questioning me, it was supposed to be me that he got the orders from. That was supposed to be the conspiracy. But the only thing they really had, they actually captured Robert Rozier on, was these murders at an apartment complex in Opelika. Right? Now check this out. The first thing is, Robert Rozier is caught. He says Yahweh sent him to go do the killings. We bring in a witness that went to the murders with Robert Rozier. This brother gets up and testifies that him and Robert Rozier was there when Broussard and the other brothers were arguing against the Yahwehs and said he wasn't going to leave the apartment complex, and they spied that this guy was the big drug dealer and had an apartment on the end where they were selling a bunch of drugs, making money. Rozier and his criminal mind decided to come back that night with the witness that was testifying against him to rob those brothers of drug dollars. It had nothing to do with the temple of Yahweh. This Negro was doing his own damn thing. So now, Yahweh gets caught up in the confusion of conspiracy because they use confusion to act like Robert Rozier is a part of us when Yahweh put that brother out of the temple several times for being a wicked person. It wasn't about you couldn't get out. All you had to do was be wicked. You can just get the hell out. Everybody was struggling to be righteous because we was having so much fun. Every day, all day, making money. But now, here comes this Negro. Uncle Tom Sambo, slave-beaten bastard from hell. Robert Rozier being guided by another black Sambo, cousins of the FBI, who was working under Comey and Mueller and Sessions, not Jeff Sessions, one of his family members. Sessions, who was the head of the FBI at the time, with Hillary Clinton coming into the courtroom several times, along with head prosecutor Janet Reno. They come into the courtroom several times to make sure we were destroyed because Janet Reno and Lawton Childs and the government were afraid that because Yahweh helped Xavier Suarez, Victor DeUry, and all of those black and white Republicans get into office, he had a temple in almost every major city in Florida, which meant he could have overthrown Lawton Childs and helped the Republicans overthrow the Democrats in the presidency. So they decided to destroy him. That's why they did that to Yahweh ben Yahweh. And that's why they fear me, because they know I'm Yahweh ben Yahweh's protege, and I'm going to make sure that President Trump wins 2020, 2024, and 2028. Damn the Democrats. All right, as you can see in this WPLG Channel 10 news report on their channel10.com page, you can see where they write that Richard Scruggs interviewed with them, and he admitted that he hated Rozier and knew that Rozier was lying and was a con job. Now read this carefully, how he knew it. And he said he didn't want to deal with him, didn't want to do anything with him, yet he still used him to put all of us in jail and destroy the Yahwehs. Like his buddy Mueller, who worked with Jeff Sessions' family member, who was Mr. Sessions over the FBI, with Mueller as the assistant director to the FBI, with James Comey working under Mueller. The same people that prosecuted Yahweh ben Yahweh are the same people that prosecuted our President Trump. And they're trying to do that to every Republican person that does anything. And they have been doing it since 1944. Y'all check this out. Yahweh ben Yahweh only helped Republicans. Now this is the real reason why they attacked and destroyed him. Every black man that helps black people and go to the Republican Party, they destroy him, like they destroyed President Trump in the newspapers. Every day they get a chance because he went from Democrat to Republican. This is their game. Yahweh ben Yahweh helped Xavier Suarez, Victor DeUry, Arthur Till, all were Republicans. He talked to Democrats, but he never helped them. Yahweh ben Yahweh was destroyed. And said the reason why is because no black man, like Malcolm X said, should ever vote for the Democrat because you would be a traitor to your people. So that's why they arrested Yahweh ben Yahweh, because he had the National Voters Registration League. And also in this article here, you see wherein the Cubans and everybody adopted the 50-50 shot, saying 50% of us should vote Republican, 50% should vote Democrat. And he knew that would destroy the Democrats, and the Democrats knew that's what he was doing. So therefore, they decided to arrest him and destroy him. Mueller and Comey were prosecuting Yahweh ben Yahweh with Janet Reno the same way they're prosecuting President Trump today. So now we're going to see why they do it and how jealous they are. Richard Scruggs is like Comey. He is the murderer of black people and white Europeans, Republican who are Gentile. So here I'm going to show you how jealous they are and what they do together in secret and how they plot to destroy just because you're doing good with the people and the government.
The Yahwehs in the early 80s had been amassing power and property.
The FBI, whose Valkyrie does not like for black men or white European Gentiles to actually get rich and have property like President Trump, and they seek to destroy you when you got it. Now watch how they start to plot to destroy you because you're rich like President Trump and how they doing him.
And they had kind of a dual reputation. People saw them as a somewhat scary group.
You see, like they claim that the Trump followers are scary, racist, and criminals and treasonous people. They are the accuser of the brethren, like Revelations 12:10-12 says, and they accuse us before the people every day. The black man and the white man. Romans 10:12 says there's no difference between the black man and the white man.
They knew we were preaching hatred and violence, but at the same time, they outwardly appeared to be quiet, well-behaved, mannered.
By continuing to polish his public image.
I'd like everybody to give a nice warm welcome.
He continued to turn distressed buildings into gleaming properties. As Yahweh ben Yahweh, and made large contributions to popular causes.
Watching Yahweh become stronger and stronger, and watching him become more and more accepted by the community, I, as well as all of the investigators, felt that he had to be stopped.
Huron Mitchell became a bigger-than-life public figure, enjoying all the legitimacy money could buy. He seemed unstoppable. After almost a decade of investigation, the FBI still lacked enough evidence to arrest self-proclaimed Messiah.
Sunday, October 2nd, 1990, is Yahweh ben Yahweh Day.
As Mitchell continued to thwart the investigation privately, publicly, his legitimacy grew as Yahweh ben Yahweh.
He's having photo op sessions with the mayor. The mayor proclaimed Yahweh ben Yahweh Day, and there are banners on the streets saying, proclaiming Yahweh ben Yahweh Day. I cajole people. I urge them to fight a false religion.
You see right there, the FBI is calling us a false religion. They call us a cult. Every black religion is a cult to them, and every deplorable white Republican who has any kind of belief other than their demon-crat beliefs, they call you a cult too. Look how they call Trump a cult.
It's becoming a cultish thing, isn't it? It's not a good place for any party to end up with a cult situation.
Reading quote, Republicans embrace the cult of Trump, ignoring warning signs.
Black and white people are called cult. We are called nigger, and they call white Republicans deplorables. These are the accusers of our people that accuse us before God every day. Revelations 12:10. All of their accusations are false accusations. They call me a black supremacist. They call Yahweh a black supremacist. And they call Trump a white racist. They're all fake news liars and bastards from hell. And now that Trump has beat them, they're coming down with great wrath because they know they have but a short time, because the black man and the white man is about to unite. It's over for these bastards. Same damn thing. There's no difference between the Jew and the Gentile, the black man and the white man. Romans 10:17. Damn.
Old people, I urged them to fight a false religion, and basically used every means I had available to me to convince people to.
In October 1990, despite his public successes, the FBI
used every means I had available to me to convince people to.
In October 1990, despite his public successes, the FBI filed sealed arrest warrants for him. They were kept secret to allow the FBI a month to plan the arrest. Agents dubbed the plan Operation Jericho.
Now, why did they call it Operation Jericho? Because Jericho is where we first decided to go take the land back from the Canaanites. So now these Canaanites are doing the exact same thing the opposite way. Yahweh got some property, so now they're going to just take it all away from him because he's a real black man. Like President Trump is a real white European Gentile. So Trump is rich and he's now the president. Now the Canaanites want to take it back from him. We ain't going to let that happen, baby boy. Totally different from the Canaanite, white, cursed people who hate the black man, the Latin man, and the white Republican deplorables. That's what this is all about.
Special Agent Herbert Cousins knew it would be dangerous to take Yahweh Ben Yahweh in Miami since he was at the height of his popularity there.
Now here's a video of Lyndon Baines Johnson getting the FBI to go destroy Martin Luther King, all because he's speaking the truth. Not because he's doing something wrong. He wants to just destroy him using the FBI. Listen.
Yeah, but I would take it.
Working with Bicoré.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I would take a much tougher line than we're going through. I think it really ought to be done. I said, I think it's not outrageous what's on TV. Somebody's here and looks like that man's in charge of the country and taking it over. I just don't think we can afford to have that kind of character on it. Never mind what he had said. Because the very fine line
They did it to Martin Luther King. They did it to Malcolm X. All because Malcolm X said, if you vote for a Democrat, you are a traitor to your race. That's why the FBI killed. They did it to the Black Panthers. They did it who were created because of Malcolm X and believed like him against the Democrats. They did it to me. I don't smoke, drink, never took drugs, didn't even use profane language until them bastards did that to me. They ruin you. This is why I'm sad for President Trump. This is why I stand for our president, because I lived it. They knew I was called Mr. Overrighteous all my life in high school. They knew that I was honorable. They knew I never smoked, drank, or took drugs in my entire life. They came to me and questioned me while I was in jail with no bond, saying to me, we know you didn't do anything wrong, Mr. Simonet, because we watched you and we got all of your history. You're an honorable man, but why destroy yourself for this man? We need you to testify because you're a very clean individual. Robert Rozier is a criminal. He murdered 7 people years before he met Yahweh Ben Yahweh. We can't really use him to testify against Yahweh Ben Yahweh because not only was he in the Air Force and a tactical teacher and a war hero, not only was he higher up in the Air Force, not only was he clean, he never smoked, drank, or took drugs in his life, and he was absolutely a non-criminal, and unlike me, he never even had a traffic ticket. Not go against Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the good man. You held me in jail for 18 months and took me to trial, and my life was in jeopardy, and now you're doing it to President Trump. Now we found out that prosecutor has been dismissed out of being a prosecutor and has been disbarred because they found out he was doing all kind of wickedness. Some of the papers that wrote against me negatively apologized to me, and all of this wickedness has been uncovered because everything that the Democrats have done to President Trump, they've done to every Republican president after 1944 when J. Edgar Hoover was appointed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the Joint Chiefs of Staffs that was created in 1944 as a ploy to keep Democrats in charge forever. They put J. Edgar Hoover in charge of the foot soldiers called the Men in Black or the FBI to destroy every black leader that could unify brothers and sisters and vote against the Democrats.
J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation from 1924 to 1972, issued a memo dated March 4, 1968, which admitted to the Bureau's secret agreement with the media to discredit targeted groups. The memo points to the government as the source of a slanderous media attack, even through black reporters. It states, in every instance, careful attention must be given to the proposal to ensure the targeted group is disrupted or discredited through the publicity and not merely publicized. The stated purpose of the slanderous campaign, quote, is to prevent sincere black leaders from gaining respectability,
who might lead us to the Republican Party, because there's a group called Valkyrie whose job was it to make sure that the Democrats stayed in charge even if a Republican was in office. So their job was to make sure we were discredited and destroyed.
By discrediting them in 1. The responsible Negro community, 2. The white community, 3. And with the followers of the movement.
Now remember, everything that they're saying here, that this guy just said about what J. Edgar Hoover was talking about against black people, was also the setup about Valkyrie for any white man that was a real European Gentile deplorable like President Trump, that they could try to tear up his unity too. So everything they was talking about for us, they were talking about for the white European Gentiles. If you get the book Willie Lynch, it shows you right in there that the black man and the white servants were counted as the same slaves. And this is what they're doing to us. And this is the trick on how to keep us separated one from another.
Every story, every article gets worse and worse and worse. I think the media is in a frenzy to rid this county of Yahweh ben Yahweh and the Temple of Love.
Yahweh ben Yahweh is not a criminal, has never been a criminal, and has never committed criminal acts. The government wanted my father so badly that they used the media to dampen his character and to make him appear to be guilty before other men, knowing full well that they were out to convict an innocent man.
Through the way it was released through the press, the government had done a publicity job of terrorizing the country. But if you read the papers, you would think that you were about to deal with a machine gun toting bunch of killers. But as time went on, everybody realized that this was hype. I understand it because it was politics.
And destroy every Republican president, and they all did it the same three ways. They say you did something wrong against the IRS, which is what they did against Yahweh ben Yahweh, and which they doing against President Trump, which they did to all 7 of the Republicans who ran for president after and won, and after Franklin Roosevelt, who died. All those presidents were charged with the same 3 things. IRS, the next thing was some kind of big controversy, like for example, Eisenhower had the big controversy of everybody searching. He pardoned several people, so now we're going to ask him to pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh, since Yahweh ben Yahweh helped all Republicans. And even Rucker said most of these brothers in here, if not all of them, are going to be found innocent. That's this article right here. So all you brothers and sisters, be ready. It's coming out. I'm asking for Yahweh ben Yahweh to be pardoned. Blacks for Trump, baby. And also because everything that the Democrats have done to President Trump, they have done to every Republican president after 1904, when J. Edgar Hoover was appointed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and the Joint Chiefs of Staffs that was created in 1944 as a ploy to keep Democrats in charge forever. They put J. Edgar Hoover in charge of the foot soldiers called the Men in Black, or the FBI, to destroy every black leader that could unify brothers and sisters and vote against the Democrats and destroy every Republican president. And they all did it the same three ways. They say you did something wrong against the IRS, which is what they did against Yahweh ben Yahweh, and which they doing against President Trump, which they did to all 7 of the Republicans who ran for president after and won, and after Franklin Delano Roosevelt died. All those presidents were charged with the same 3 things. IRS, the next thing was some kind of big controversy, like for example, Eisenhower had the big controversy of everybody searching for the communist, you understand? And so, and then they had the big controversy that what's that guy's name? Nixon had the Watergate thing, and then he was charged with not paying taxes and being tricky dicky, and then the next president, Ford, that got destroyed using the same thing they used against him, using that on him, and so he couldn't run again. And then our next Republican president was Reagan. They charged him with, oh, he's an actor, he's not paying taxes, or he won't show his taxes. And then they came back with, oh, he did the Iran-Contra thing, another conspiracy thing. And then they got George H. Bush with the same act, and then they got George W. Bush with the big thing about the Twin Towers being hit, and all of these lies about the no weapons of mass destruction, and they used that against him. Then they came back with every last one of the presidents when they couldn't get them with those 2 prongs. The third prong was always the woman, like Eisenhower. Oh, he's having sex with a lady that's driving around. Nixon, oh, he's having sex with the mob boss, another sex scandal. And Ford, they used that same thing on him. And then Reagan, oh, they're doing child pornography, and as was in the Washington Post, he's doing child pornography and the sex trafficking, and they used that same thing on George H. Bush. And then George W. Bush, oh, he was insubordinate, he was messing with all the girls and touching on women. Same damn 3 prongs. Some kind of IRS thing, some kind of controversy, and then a sex thing, a sex controversy. This is the same 3 prongs they've used, and they've used that on every black leader, including Martin Luther King, where he said he had sex with these women inside the hotel, and they had a tape of it. The FBI taped it, so they said, which they found out was not true, but they accused him of it anyway. They said he was a preacher and he wasn't paying taxes. They found out he has a 501c3. Then they said he was a communist. Same 3 prongs. They did the same thing to Malcolm X. They did the same thing Elijah Muhammad, saying he was having sex with all of the young women, wasn't paying taxes, and that he was into sedition and all these charges. Anything it took to destroy them, which is right in the back of Yahweh ben Yahweh's book called You're Not a Nigger, where he explained from the Freedom of Information Act what J. Edgar Hoover's plan was to destroy all black leaders, which was the same plan to destroy all Republican presidents, which is what they're doing to Yahweh ben Yahweh. I mean, which they are doing to our president, the greatest president in America's history, President Trump, to separate black people from white people. They're using that game, and now they have been revealed by President Trump. And now that they've been revealed, now I can now ask for a pardon for Yahweh ben Yahweh. Mullah and Comey were working with the FBI and the DOJ during the time that they were prosecuting Yahweh ben Yahweh illegally and wickedly, and they came to him with the same 3 prongs. They said he wasn't paying taxes, charged me with collecting donations from drug dealers, pimps, and prostitutes. And Judge Rucker said, well, I would have to arrest every preacher in the country because they all collect donations from them. That's what got that charge dropped. Then they hit him with some kind of scandal. He's murdering white people, which turned out to be an absolute lie. Even the brother that was charged with that, all were found innocent because Rozier lied. And he admitted that he made that stuff up just to get a good deal. He said it with his own mouth. Look at this newspaper article right here. And so we were all found innocent of the acts, and they still used it to destroy Yahweh. And then they hit him with the sex. They, he had sex with the young girls. All of which was a lie because I was a witness to it. I went celibate for 3.5 years when I was in Yahweh, and I know Yahweh. I know his character. I know what he did. I was with him almost every day. He didn't even have time to be dealing with that kind of stuff. Yet they accused him of it anyway. So I'm going to ask for that. And guess what's going to happen? We're going to get 95% of the black vote because at least a fifth of the NFL, NBA, and all of them kids that play football are children of the Yahwehs, okay? And all of the brothers that's around the country that are Hebrews that got their stores and restaurants, all of them, the Muslims, all of them are going to help Trump. You understand? Because he's the only one with the nerve to do it. He went to Kim Jong-un, who they said was an absolute murderer, got proof that he murdered people, and he helped them. So he's not going to mind helping Yahweh ben Yahweh. Why? Because he's a good man, a military man, and cleaned up the neighborhoods. This is Blacks for Trump. Michael the Black Man. Gods2.com. If it wasn't for Yahweh, I would have hated white people. He was the first one to tell me that white people are my blood brother. That's why you see Blacks for Trump standing up for President Trump, our European Gentile brother, the greatest president in history. Yahweh was the one that told me he would be president and we should choose him to be our president. He said that in the 80s when he met and just shook his hand for a few seconds. He said, that man is Cyrus. He told me that back in the 80s, which is why I was announcing that while he was running for president, that he was Cyrus. So the greatest move when you see the black man and the white man, the Jew and the Gentile, the two that Revelation 12:10 said would be accused by the beast to destroy us. They're destroying Trump or trying to destroy Trump the same way they tried to destroy Yahweh, but I'm here. And when the Bible said, and they see the two brethren stand together, the Jew and the Gentile, the black man and the white man, who Jesus said that he's here for the Jew and the Gentile, and Paul said the whole body of Christ is the Jew and the Gentile. That's why I'm so glad he gave Netanyahu back Jerusalem, made it headquarters or the capital state. Why? Because he's an Ashkenaz Jew. And Ashkenaz is the firstborn son of Gomer, the firstborn son of Japhet. And Japhet is, guess what? The father of all the isles of the European white Gentiles, Genesis 10:1-5. That's who they fear, the black man and the white Gentiles coming back together. So we will stand together in unity, and it's the end of the Democrats forever. They will never win another election. President Trump should be the president of America for another 16 years, actually, but since he only got 8, so oh well. But right now, we're going to make sure that he hits in 2020. Then look at all of his great works. He cleaned up drugs. He had businesses and jobs and all his businesses for black people and all of the brothers and sisters that were working out grocery stores and restaurants around the world, not just around the country, around the world. Yahweh had all this going on. Military hero in the Air Force and a tactical instructor who taught their experts and wrote a lot of the stuff for the Air Force, the intelligence side of the military. Yahweh is that man. He was also known as a hero in the Air Force. So Judge Rucker said he's giving him a very light sentence because this man's character and his record of helping people was so good. Chief Judge Rutger, who was the judge of our case, came down to our cell and said he was so sorry. As he said in public, in front of everybody in the courtroom, almost word for word what I'm about to tell you now, about what had happened to us, because he felt it was a travesty because they said we hated white people, yet we had white people in there with white robes on who were disciples of Yahweh ben Yahweh. And he said the case stinks to high heaven. Judge Rucker tried to get Yahweh found innocent, and he acted just like Pilate acted with Jesus till they gave him no choice because of a law that Joe Biden wrote that said that you had to do a minimum mandatory. The judge had to give him some kind of a sentence. So Judge Rucker gave Yahweh ben Yahweh the lightest sentence he could possibly give him because he really didn't believe it, but because the jury said he was guilty of just conspiracy. But of course the judge asked, what did he conspire to do if none of the acts happened? There was no racketeering, no burnings, no fires, and we was all found innocent of all of that. Then what is Yahweh ben Yahweh guilty of? What conspiracy? So it was a blanket conspiracy, but he was still forced as a judge to give him a sentence, and his sentence was the lightest sentence he could offer. And he said he had to admit that Yahweh ben Yahweh did a lot of great good works, and that he helped a lot of people, and he felt sad about it. He felt so sad about it that even when I was found innocent and got out, Judge Rucker used to come to my jet ski parties and my little events and always apologized to me and hugged me and shook my hand and everything. But I forgave him and everything because he was honorable. The person that was dishonorable was Prosecutor Scruggs, who is absolutely a Canaanite Democrat beast from hell. So that's the story, and that's exactly what happened. And that's why Yahweh got any kind of a sentence, and he dismantled the nation of Yahweh and all of those great good works. Even the works of when we was across the street from the food stamp office, older white ladies used to always come and thank us for coming to help them when people tried to steal their purse, because we were acting and helping like the police should help. And we did this all the time. We even helped our Jewish churches when they were being vandalized and swastikas painted on them. Yahweh ordered all of the brothers in every temple across the country to stand guard over the Jewish temple, and right away all of the swastikas and everything stopped, because they are Ashkenazi Jews that they were doing this to, and Ashkenaz is the firstborn son of Gomer, who was the firstborn son of Japhet, the father of all white European Gentiles in Genesis 10:1-5. So that's our blood brother. That's who we defended, because those are the ones that defend us. So that's why we're asking Trump for a pardon, because this was political. It's the Democrat Canaanite bastards from hell against the black man and the white man now, because they're doing Trump the exact same way they did Yahweh ben Yahweh, and with the same people. William Sessions, like Jeff Sessions, William Sessions' family member, was over the FBI when Yahweh ben Yahweh got arrested. Like Comey was working under Mueller, who was the assistant director to the FBI at the time that the Yahwehs were arrested. I remember Comey coming into the courtroom because he was tall, like investigator Cousins from the FBI. They sat in there and made sure that Yahweh was destroyed just because he wanted to help Republicans. Damn. She sang 1944, after Franklin Delano Roosevelt died. I'm here to ask you to pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh, and me and Yahweh ben Yahweh's little sister, Leona Mitchell, the greatest opera singer in the world, wants to come and meet with you to ask for that pardon and to give you the proof as to why he should be pardoned, so that you may consider it, sir. Leona Mitchell is Yahweh ben Yahweh's little sister. The reason why Yahweh ben Yahweh was prosecuted is because he believed in helping Republicans and not Democrats. After they saw him help all of these Republicans like Xavier Swartz, Victor DeUry, and Arthur Till, they knew that he could overthrow Florida and, if not America, with Republicans. So Janet Reno who was with the governor of the state at the time, who were all Democrats, Lawton Childs that is, they were afraid of Yahweh ben Yahweh, and they decided to prosecute Yahweh ben Yahweh because of his political affiliations, because he taught us that we should vote for Republicans because Democrats were the ones that had us in slavery. In fact, in the Nation of Islam, Yahweh ben Yahweh was the one that taught Malcolm X and others that all white people were not the devil, and he also showed them, which is why Malcolm X went over to Africa to discover that he had white brothers. And Yahweh ben Yahweh also taught that the Republicans are our friends and family, not the Democrats. The Democrats are the murderers of our people, and we should never vote for them. He even had a book out called the National Voters Registration League, and in that book he taught and told black people that we should split our votes, some Democrat, some Republican, but then privately told me that when I said that, son, I destroyed the Democrats because they need every black vote. So Yahweh ben Yahweh was destroyed because he helped the Republicans, and I'm going to show you and prove this to you. He is an innocent man, and you should and must, we pray you, pardon Yahweh ben Yahweh. And remember, Mr. President, President Trump, old King Cyrus, the greatest president in America's history, remember that the FBI said in court that there were about 1 million Yahwehs across the country. Now, all of those Yahwehs, they got their children who are all grown now, and they all still believe in Yahweh. You can check Facebook out. You'll see black Hebrews, not the Hebrew Israelites that call white people the devil, because that's not what Yahweh ben Yahweh taught. We're totally against what those guys are teaching. We believe in good people and black and white must unite. But Yahweh ben Yahweh has these millions of followers out there who all support you because they watch me stand behind you. This is why you're getting a lot of the black vote, because these are the smart ones and the advocators. These are the ones that run all of the organizations and gangs and everything. These brothers are powerful, I'm telling you now. So we need to gather them and other black organizations together so that we can stand with Trump as Cyrus to deliver the black man, the Latin man, and the white man out of these pure hell that they got us in and overtaxing our people. Thank you, sir, in advance.